See you in Athens. So this is a bit of a warning. This may be the most boring video that you've ever watched on YouTube. The whole idea of going to Rhodes was the fact that... Oh, I'm cooking, by the way. Do you want to see? Hang on. There you go. Irish stew. The whole idea of the trip was essentially to get to Rhodes, where I used to work 30 years ago. And I just look back on the footage that I took in Rhodes, and it is as dull as dishwater, because it was such a personal trip, really. So there's a lot of, oh, that road didn't used to be there, or that house wasn't there before, or that used to be a bar. So if you're interested in the sort of back streets of Rhodes, I suppose, and what it's really like, and by the way, it's a gorgeous place. I don't think it comes across in the video at all. So this is just one that's a really personal one for me. I'm not looking for subscribers and all that kind of malarkey anyway. It's just a personal record for me. It's maybe worth watching through, because there's some nice photos and stuff, and there's a few sunsets and that kind of thing. But it was really just a personal journey, and yeah, have a look through it and see what you think. I'm going to eat my Irish stew and cue the big blockbuster trailery thing.
Tamam. Ya şeyler oradaydı. Bütün iş atanlar da oradaydı. İş atmayacaklardı. Ben 6 işini alırken yemek yiyordum. Biliyorsun abi.
The last big jump now then at Istanbul airport. Little hop, which I think is only about an hour and a half, to Athens. 8 hours to find something to do, and then into Rhodes and relax. Beautiful airport this though, lovely building. It's not the same one that I flew into. Hope it's the right one. Really awake this morning. Feels like a really good day. I've got a lot of hanging around to do today, but started off okay in a nice little posh lounge in Istanbul airport, which is bloody gorgeous, by the way. It's huge. And half an hour before my flight to Athens. And also I need to see what the time difference makes, because at the moment I think I've got an 8-hour layover in Athens, but once the clocks have done all their bits and pieces, I'll have a proper look when I get there. So that's put a bit of a spanner in the works. Arrived on time, flight arrived on time in Athens. The queue again going through passport control, when it's taken, I suppose, about an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes to get outside of the building. And I've got this funny kind of 8-hour layover thing, where I really want to at least just be able to fly into Athens, sit and have a coffee and a sandwich and fly back again on the metro. My flight leaves this evening at 8:20, which means I've got to be, I'm going to say, through into departures. The way things are running, I've got to be through into departures at sort of 7 o'clock. But with the way that the passport thing is concerned, running at the moment, it means I've got to be back at the airport by 5, and it takes an hour to get into town. So it's now midday, getting to town at just after 1, have to leave there at just before 4. yeah, so that's doable just for a pint of coffee and a sandwich, isn't it? Right, I've worked out a compromise, I think. I am going to go and jump on the metro. I've left my baggage at strangely enough, so that I'm travelling lightweight. I'm literally going to get the metro to central Athens underground. I'm not bothered about the Acropolis and that kind of stuff, but I just want to get somewhere where I can sit, have a pint, have a coffee, have a sandwich, and then I'm going to pretty much have to turn around and come back to the airport, because the whole passport control thing just isn't predictable at all. You don't know whether it's going to be half an hour or 2.5 hours. So yeah, I'll take it steady, but I'm just going to have a wander into the centre of Athens, so that at least I know I can say to myself that I've been there. Just got off at a little stop that's 4 stops before the Acropolis, because the train was just getting busier and busier and hotter and hotter. It still had about 20 minutes left to go, and I think you could just tell by the number of people that were, how much busier it was getting the closer we got to the city centre, that I was probably going to walk off there into an absolute mountain of people. And I don't really want that for today. I want to stay sort of pretty relaxed. This is a nice little area actually. It's about 3 stops before Acropolis, and it's called Ambalkopi. So it kind of sounds like the Greek version of the Archers, but really nice bar and cafe immediately opposite the metro, so I don't get lost, because their signage for metros isn't brilliant. They haven't got like the big thing on the stick and all that kind of stuff. So I'll turn the camera around. You can just have a quick look at the kind of place that I'm at. So this is Ambalkopi, or Ambalkopi, or Ambalkopi, suburb on the outskirts of Athens that is far quieter than I imagine Acropolis is going to be right now. Yeah, nice little town. Just had pancake with ham and cheese and a pint and a coffee. Going to fill in about another half hour or so just wandering around and exploring, and then back to the airport. So leaving Ambalkopi to get back on the tube to the airport, and this evening I should be in my little room in Rhodes. So catch up later. Yeah, Ambalkopi, the study of wandering aimlessly. It's about right. I think if there is a downside to travelling, it's not the moving, it's the waiting to move on. Today has just been sitting or standing in queues, waiting for trains. It's felt like there's been very little movement. My flight this morning was only an hour, and the flight this evening is only an hour, but my day is going to be nearly 20 hours long. Absolutely bossed it. Metro into Athens for lunch, all very cosmopolitan. Back out, made it to the airport for 4:30, perfect time. Yay! Gonna go and collect Max from his little B&B now, and get myself sorted, ready for the final flight before, I suppose, the holiday starts. I've got Max back from his kennels. Gonna stand and get my head together, have a quick ciggy, and then walk on through and just see what passport control's like. I'm hoping it's not the experience that I had this morning, or the experience that I had leaving Vienna. Ready to leave Athens, get myself into my little place in Koskino, in the mountains in Rhodes, for a week of motorbiking and rest. when I say motorbiking, it's kind of 125 twist and going. Similar. It's not exactly easy rider, but it'll get me about. So it's a bit of a bun fight leaving Athens, but I just met a couple of really nice young people at the bar and had a good natter for an hour, so it really passed the time away. Off to Rhodes! Sophia and George, thank you so much for your company. I made it. I'm on the bus to the plane. So as long as the plane takes off, I've made the flight. Okay, so if you can hear that noise, that tells me that I'm back in Rhodes, the cicadas. I've arrived. Do you want to see my apartment? It's 10 to 11 at night and it's still 20 degrees. Here's my balcony. Into my room. Twin beds. Fridge, which to be fair is a little bit noisy. Sink with hobs. Kettle and all the bits and pieces. Proper bathroom. And shower. Straight out onto my terrace in the morning. And as it's 10 to 11 and it's still as warm as it is, I'm going to wander up the road and have a pint before bedtime, because that's been a long day. But this is a little piece of absolute heaven.
And I've got my little friend. Hello, you. What's your name? Hey, have you come to see me? You're going to come for breakfast? Hey? Oh, well, this is now turned into absolutely perfection. Absolutely perfection. Absolute perfection. I'm going to wander up into the village, get myself a pair of 3/4 lengths this morning, because I got rid of my other ones because they got a bit cut up from my little Istanbul incident. So, and it's going to be roasting here today. It's lovely. I can't really remember what Koskino village actually looks like, so it's only 5 minutes up the road. I'm going to wander up there and have a coffee, and as close to a do nothing day today as I can ever do. But I've got my little pal. 2 little pals.
Check out the weather today. A walk up into town, I think. Get myself lost. Pair of shorts. Sit and have a coffee. And not even going to plan anything for the remainder of the week. Just see what happens. It's just gone 9 o'clock in the morning. I feel like I've kind of wasted half the day already by actually getting up that late, but that was such a long old trip yesterday. Didn't get to bed till late last night, and feel absolutely fresh as a daisy today, and I'm gonna love this. How about this for a walk to the shops? Heaven. So at first glance, really, the main difference that I'm seeing is just what they've done with elements of the road network. Koskino basically sits on a hilltop, which is why I'm panting my guts out, because I'm actually staying halfway down the hill and the rest of it is pretty steep. And it separates essentially the northeastern part of the island to the northwestern part of the island, so you can choose which kind of beach or which kind of day out you want to have, really. Obviously the side with the likes of Lindos and Faliraki and all that kind of stuff is much sandier beaches, much sort of broader stretches of beach, but also all of the other things that come with that, not kiss me quick type hats and stuff, they're not that corny over here, but you probably catch the drift. Whereas on the other side, although the beaches generally, and this isn't true of all of them, but generally are a little bit more stony and pebbly. The water's that little bit cooler, but also there's a lot of really historic architecture down that side of the island, really tiny villages. I'm hoping, and that's certainly where I'm going to go and visit. I don't really remember Koskino that well, and I remember the name and probably came here 2 or 3 times, but we're going to go into the I'm going to just wander into the old town and have a look around.
Spend my days with a woman unkind, smoke my stuff and drank all my wine. Made up my mind to make a new start, going to California with an aching in my heart. Someone told me there's a girl out there with love in her eyes and flowers in her hair.
Okay, so I had my coffee and sandwich in the Free Square and given myself probably about an hour and a half's worth of walk to get off down to Calafea Beach, which I'm assuming is just look at the sea and keep walking towards it. So that's kind of what the plan is this morning. Also, this is the back end of October. We're well outside the season now, and it's definitely over 20, I don't know, what, 22, 24 degrees or something. Really nice and warm, but it's a comfortable warm now. It's not like a real sort of intense baking heat, but you've got absolutely clear blue skies, far less people about. I suppose a little bit of a disadvantage is that maybe some of the restaurants that would be open throughout the course of the day aren't really opening till about 6 in the evening. But unless we want to do is sit and get pissed, then that's absolutely fine. But yeah, the views are really, really nice. There's not a cloud in the sky hardly. Loving it. I think what's really good to see is, I mean, Koskino's definitely expanded. The little village square that I was just sat in, that essentially was it, with the church and the monument and the small kind of proper typical sort of village centre, old village centre, and it's expanded a hell of a lot. But what they haven't done is stuck up a whole horde of hotels. It's just really nice villa accommodation and apartment accommodation that absolutely takes advantage of all the views. So I'm hoping that this is kind of what they've done over the last 30 years, is make it maybe a bit more residential. I know that down on the front, absolutely there's going to be some development that must have happened. But certainly, even though they've expanded these villages and they've given it like one main road going through as well, the actual nature of the properties here hasn't ruined it at all. So here's where I went wrong. I'm walking in that direction. Calafea Beach is over in that direction, because on the pathway through that I decided to take rather than the road, there was construction works because it's out of season, that's when they're doing it all. So I've had to walk all the way back up to the main road again, down to the front. So I'm still an hour away and I've been walking for 45 minutes. I found another little turn off that looks like it's going in the right direction. iMaps is no help around this bit at all, just keeps sending you in circles. So I'm roughly going in the direction now that I think I should be. but it's hot. It's effing hot. Ah, this is promising. I think I remember this bit. Just over the top of this hill, and then it used to be just a dirt track down to the beach. I'm expecting it to be a little bit fancier than that, but yeah, and certainly the sea's on my left. I'm going up a hill, so the other side should be a left-hand turn. Don't do my bloody kidding, the whole place would have changed. But it's quite good fun exploring it. Now my instinct is to take this left-hand turn because it's at the brow of the hill and going down towards the water. There's no signage for it though, and it's quite a famous place, so I'd have thought they'd have had loads of signs up if it was right. But if this is the route that I think it is, I would imagine there's at least a bar there, and I'll be there by midday, and it's still hot. Yeah, that's actually Rhodes town itself, out on the peninsula there. You see that you can just about see make out the sort of harbour walls, the kind of right hand side of the harbour walls. And we'll be over there, I expect, either later on today or tomorrow. Depends how my legs hang out. Legs hang out. Depends how my legs hold out. Well, okay, I was wrong. It's now a private residence down the bottom of that road. The guy there did say though that yes, a long time ago, there used to be a pathway down to the beach, but now it's private access to the beach for a private property. It's quite nice though, because that location could easily have been swallowed up by a hotel, and the fact that they've got, again, these sort of more private residences and sort of low-lying apart hotels is really nice, because I mean, I've had the view of the sea all the way along this top road, and I don't think you get that in many places that have done this level of development. So that was boring, wasn't it? But anyway, I'm turning left and then left again apparently, because they have a proper road down to Calathea. Okay, I've found it. Bloody gorgeous. Right, let's get down there. Now I could walk down there in amongst all those people, looking like Dudley Moore in my cap and jeans. So I won't do that until I get myself looking more appropriately dressed for the beach. I am going to go and get myself a little table up on the pool bar up there and make some further plans for today. It's been a long old walk that, but it's found it, and look, that's worth it, isn't it? The weather out here is far too warm for all the clobber that I've got, so I have a little plan of action. Tonight I'm going to wrap up a whole load of my clothes, put them in a parcel, take them down the post office and post them home to a relative, probably mother. She'll appreciate that. So I'm going to send those off from the post office tomorrow, and this afternoon just get 2 or 3 very light t-shirts, a pair of shorts and a sweatshirt, because yeah, I can't walk around here for the next 4 or 5 days in what I'm wearing. I'll wilt. Too sensitive. So I'm going to post all my clothes home to mother, even the dirty stuff. Happy days. So I'm now kind of on the grubby outskirts, if you like, of Rhodes, but I'm literally 10 minutes from the harbour, just to go into a store to grab some really cheap stuff to do me for the next 3 or 4 days in this heat. So you can see here, this is basically where you enter Rhodes if you're not coming down the kind of main road. But it's a really good area for really cheap food and all the bits and pieces that I'm kind of looking for. It's slightly residential here as well. It's a really safe area, and even at night it's a nice area. Well, I'm saying that, it's a long time ago, but it's a nice area to walk around, because pretty much every other place is either doing food or is like a little fruit market or something. and it's obviously far less expensive than what is essentially only 200 yards down the road to be in the city, in the harbour. I don't know why I'm doing this like TripAdvisor, but a few people commented on I'm talking about maybe 2 people commented on the last video just to say that it would be good maybe to give a little bit of advice, particularly of areas that you know or are familiar with. I'm going to find out what they actually call this particular area, and I will post it tonight. But certainly if you come in here and doing a self-catering type holiday, you've got a huge supermarket, huge clothing shop that is obviously far cheaper than the town centre. One run into here, you could stock your whole flat up and get all your bits and pieces for however long you're going to be here, and then you've done all your shopping in kind of one hit. Yeah, I kind of like it here. I know it looks like the scruffy end, but it's nice just to wander around here and not really be following a load of people with designer bags and stuff. It's just to come and get the essentials. But note to self, I need to find out exactly what this little part of town or the area here is called. Absolutely sorted for me gear. 20 quid the lot. Lovely job. Poromeni is iced, and the word for glass is poteri. Poteri. Poteri. Ashtray is tesaki. Ligo zahai is a little sugar. Ligo zahai.
Μπορώ να πληρώσω. Να πληρώσω.
Fattest. What a great word. Kalomismeri is like kalispera, but it's when you're kind of saying goodbye to somebody during the course of the day. So kalomismeri. Right, it's such a gorgeous day, and I've got all the bits and pieces sorted that I need to. I'm going to have a quick wander down through the old harbour of Rhodes. I suppose it's worth doing a proper video on that, but I'll do that maybe tomorrow. Today it's just a bit of a walkthrough for me to see what's still here and what isn't. Going to grab a coffee, find where the bus station is, and get myself back to Koskino. So I'm going to only probably be here for maybe, I don't know, a couple of hours, I suppose, depends what it's like. But I want to see the old harbour again, because the bit that I'm in at the moment is the new area, which is the other side of the walls where the cruise ships come in. So I'm going to have a look back at the old town. Back in the old town. Well, this is still the same. Well, of course it is. Of course it's been here for hundreds of years, thousands of years. So nothing's going to have changed here. Love it inside the walls here. This is going to be interesting to see if I can still navigate my way around 30 years. If I remember rightly, the really posh off licence is out through the next archway and down by the water again. Not that that's of any interest to anybody at all, but have a look at this place. Proper back streets roads. Inside the walls, nobody around. If you know, you know. There's a bloody great cruise ship in, and I haven't seen one of them. Just look at this place. Yeah, love it still. Check that out. It's 100 yards away, and none of those guys that are getting off of there will get to see any of this, because this is all for free. Just getting lost in Rhodes. thought it would be worth filming these little back streets. It's a gorgeous city, away from the main square, and you can just explore and explore. I'm going to go down to the harbour now and have a pint so that I can go off and get my bus back to Koskino, and then do a proper explore of this at some point during the week. Fase do Avril. Avril. Fase do Avril is see you tomorrow. Fase do Avril. See you tomorrow. Well, good morning. Really nice day yesterday, and the weather today is stunning. Today should be the day for the bike ride. So I'm going to get the bus now into Rhodes town, and then walk down to Ixia, which I think is maybe 40 minutes, and that's where the bike hire places are, and it's also very close to the Electra Palace, which is the place that I used to work in, that I want to go back and look at. And the weather looks fine for taking the bike out today. The forecast wasn't that brilliant, but it's stunning again this morning, so I think I'm going to hire it for today and tomorrow, and hopefully get some adventure pics. Meanwhile, cue the soundtrack for Good, Bad and the Ugly and Tumbleweed sound effects. I've been here 15 minutes and nothing yet. It's a bit impatient, isn't it? Good morning from Rhodes town. I'm going to take a walk from here now down through to Ixia, pick up the bike. But this has got an awful lot busier with the tourist boats, unsurprisingly really. And it used to be that you could see past the boats to see the actual harbour entrance. I'm trying to get to that bit. The old Simi cruises. It is a beautiful city. Water's like an absolute mill pond this morning, and it's going to be another really, really gorgeous day. Oh, this is really nice. I don't know whether this was here before or not, but they've basically created a low-level walkway that keeps you right next to the sea, and I would imagine it goes all the way down into Alesos, and saves you having to go up and over the bloody great hill as you come out of town. So it's not particularly well signposted, to be honest. You just have to drop down off the prom to the beach and you see the start of the pathway. But it's really nice. It's quite rugged, and the scenery here is lovely. So looking out over to Simi, and it's just cut through the rocks. So yeah, this is a really nice wander. Got about, I suppose, 2.5 miles to go, and then I'm in Ialisos. Right, so I'm trying to get my bearings here a little bit. That's the area that I'm going over to, and I can see a kind of pyramid-shaped hotel, which I think is the sort of posh 5-star one in Ixia, if it's still the same. And then further around, there's one that looks like a Lego brick, and I think that's the Sun Beach Hotel. And then it goes into what looks like a sort of much lower lying area. And I think right at the very beginning of that is the Electra Palace. So we'll see. I'm just coming into Galassos now. And sorry about the wind noise. I'll try and get that reduced in the video. But yeah, I'm at the Rhodes end of Galassos at the moment, which is where the sort of 5-star hotels and that kind of stuff always has been. To be honest, at the moment, I can't see anything at all that has changed. It will be interesting to see what's gone on with the older part of the town, which is where I'm going into now, and also to see if the whole area around sort of Sun Beach, Electra Palace, that kind of area has had any real massive changes. But so far, after 30 years, it's all still really, really familiar. Wow, this is bringing back a few memories. There's a few restaurant name changes, obviously, and there's been just a couple of hotel developments, but they've kept them so low-lying that really the vision as you walk into the village is exactly the same as it was, to the extent that I think I'm going to go and see if the little bike rental place that used to be down by Electra Palace is still there, rather than go into the one that was on the interwebby thing. So yeah, I'm going to go and have a look and go down the old hotel, because I think I've gone so much back in my mind to how everything's laid out here. I think I can pretty much just walk to it without any help at all, he says. Just walked out the other side of Galassos now, and I'm in the kind of no man's land bit, which again they haven't really redeveloped at all. So I'm hoping that I should be coming into Trianda within about sort of 5-10 minutes, and then it will be about 20 minutes on from there to the hotel. I have to say I'm a bit buggered now. That's been what, 3.5 hours of walking. So this is the rental place that I'm supposed to go to, or the one that comes up first online. Really cheap, and cash deposit and all that kind of stuff, and looks really credible. So at least I know where it is now, and I'm going to keep going, because I definitely know that I'm in the right place now, because this little road here used to go down to a place called Hotel Penelope, and now it just says Penelope Apartment. Oh, and it says Penelope Hotel now. So I remember this little road. Now that turning looks, this is going to bore the hell out of everybody, but that turning looks a bit different, because it's saying there that's the route up to Phaleros. But I seem to remember this house thing here being like a nice taverna, and also that it was a lot more central to Ixia. So maybe this is just one of the turnings that's at the sort of Rhodes end of the town. I've turned off the road now onto the street that I think is the right one, because the hotel's not signposted from the road, and there's, I suppose, a few more houses up this way that look modern, but the road feels right. So yeah, I'm going to see where this ends up anyway, because it'll take me to the beach regardless. Just trying to get my bearings, but the shape of this, yeah, I'm sure that this is the one. So Electra Palace, here we come after 30 odd years.